So my name is Alona Ballard. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm about to be 49 years young. My birthday's Tuesday. I so I have the lap band. I believe I first got it in like 2014, and then I had one of the complications. Like I think someone who tried to fill it accidentally hit the the I don't know, but it started leaking or whatever, so you couldn't fill it. And so I started gaining weight. And so luckily Yvette, who I guess she's not with you guys anymore, she was able to refer me to a doctor in Dayton, Ohio, who fixed my band 3 years ago, and I got a replacement. And so I'm kind of like 3 years in on the new lap band, but I'm probably about 140 pounds now, but I was about 200 when I first got my lap band. And it's been the best thing ever. I mean, I can't even tell you how great it feels to like go into stores and like put on anything. And recently I ordered something off of Amazon. It was like a short suit, and I know it's coming from China where things are really small. I ordered a medium and it fit, and I'm like, okay. So, I mean, I can't stop singing the praises of lap band. It works for me because not only am I someone who, was an emotional eater and just like I love to cook. And so when food tastes good, I'm like, oh, I just want to eat it all. But, I needed a little help. And so it's helpful. But, when you combine something like the lap band and then you go to the gym and do a lot of walking and monitor your steps, it really kicks it into high gear and you're, like cooking with gas.
Awesome. So you mentioned you like to cook and you do all that. What's your favorite food to cook? And do you find that with the lap band, you're still able to enjoy all the foods you like, maybe just in smaller amounts?
Yes, I love to cook everything. Since I'm in the house a lot because, looking after my, disabled father, I and he's very thin and I want him to eat a lot. So I cook like 3 meals. I feel like I'm running a memory care facility with one patient. So I've been into cooking Indian food lately because I used to like to order Indian takeout, and I know, all that rice and ghee and stuff, it's delicious, but I've been on a mission to make it healthier. And so I've been cooking that, and I like to cook. I made samosas yesterday with a cilantro lime dipping sauce. So
Ooh.
anytime, these days everyone's like tightening the belt on their finances. So restaurants are expensive.
Yeah.
So every time I try something at a restaurant, I am like, okay, let me perfect this. Let me make it low calorie and just more delicious. So yeah, every once in a while I try a new international cuisine. So yeah, I've gone with Jamaican food and I've gone with Indian food. So I think now I'm going to try Thai food as my new, delve deep
Venture.
into it and see if I can create some great dishes.
Very cool. The parent company who took Reshape to create Metamo, they're actually based out of India. So I'm sure if I'm like, hey, you guys have any like home like recipes you guys can share, I might be able to get you some new recipes or different ones to try out too. So
Oh, that was
they'll be excited
awesome.
to know. Yeah. um, for our next question, what was your life and health like before the lap band?
Oh, I was wearing baggy clothes and gaining weight and, like hiding it. And, I just thought I don't feel good being big because, there's some women that wear weight well. They wear it better than others and they become, a brick house. And I just look like a barrel. So I just needed a little help to get into the best shape for me, for the way I best feel about myself. So, as someone who loves food and used food emotionally, yeah, I have trouble putting the fork down. So the lap band has been so helpful for someone like me.
Awesome. Before having the lap band, what had you tried in the past to, drop weight or, and, fit better into clothes that maybe worked for a little bit and didn't work or just didn't work at all?
Oh, I think I've tried everything. Probably those fin pills that are like now like off the market. I tried that pill Ally that basically gives you diarrhea. And I mean, cabbage soup diet. I became a spinning instructor, got certified because I was like, well, if my job is exercising, I'll lose
I
weight.
do it.
But you can't just like jump off the spinning bike and eat like a burrito from Chipotle. So, yeah, I tried everything from extreme diets to extreme exercise. Um, so, yeah, a lot of different stuff.
Honestly, yeah. Chipotle sounds good now. I
Mhm.
love to eat too, but sorry to derail us. Um, when you were considering the lap band, were there any obstacles that you were facing that maybe pushed that could have swayed you from getting the lap band? Maybe if there was anybody who had talked negatively about the band, or did you encounter any of those types of obstacles?
No, I researched a lot and watched a lot of people's YouTube videos about it, which in turn, I have YouTube videos about my weight loss journey because I said, I relied on other people's stories, so I'll put my story out there.
Yeah,
And, that's why I have no problem giving more info and feeling like I can be an ambassador for the lap band because there's someone like me who is at 200 pounds, wants to be less, and they just need to meet someone who said, hey, it worked for me. I was successful. And yeah, so I wasn't, hesitant at all because I think I did my research.
thank you for sharing. And there are other bariatric options out there, and it's not a one for everybody. So I think it's important, and that's why I like capturing these stories because I feel sometimes the lap band gets talked about a little bit less, but it's definitely not the one that's performed the most. But if it can help one person, I feel I've done my job, right? Because I do genuinely believe in this product. I genuinely believe it can help people not only be healthier, but just, just an emotional well being too, right? Like we need to feel good about ourselves to carry on with, some of the days that feel a little bit more heavy. Um, what is your life like today compared to before the lap band?
Um, like 10 times better. I mean, when you're able to wear a little tight short skirt and things. I mean, we live in a vain country, and I think I've talked about it before about how you're treated when you are bigger versus smaller. Customer service becomes better. But like just yesterday, I was in a store and I was like, I want a crop top. I'm like, this summer, all crop tops because I want to show off like my stomach. Because why not? I can. And I just, yeah, I would say, particularly as a woman, unfortunately, people treat you better based on how you look. And, we know this. So I've probably said like the difference between being bigger and asking, is my order ready versus being smaller, it turns into like, oh, we'll get to you when we get to you to, oh, let me check.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's the thing.
yeah. No, yeah, I agree with you. And it's, It's true. It's all true, right? It's just you're perceived in one way versus another way. Not to derail us, we'll kind of cut whatever this when we take bits and pieces of it, but that's one of the reasons why I thought it was important to have patients on the podcast. I've been with Reshape since I graduated college, kind of gone through this whole, so I have a lot of insight onto bariatrics, a little bit of to how, patients feel just having spoken to you, having listened to stories, but that's why I'm trying to remove not only myself, but just the company from the podcast and have honest conversations, say it's you and Holly or you and somebody else, because you are the only ones who've experienced this, who can vouch to this, who can speak to, how we're treated a little bit differently, how being treated a little bit differently then can be a little bit hard to date because now it's different right now. You're getting maybe more attention, good or bad. So those are the kinds of topics that I'm hoping we can have, you, Holly, somebody else speak to, because those are real challenges that come with after. Like, obviously, it's awesome, but it's also a little bit difficult. And I think they're worthwhile to talk about too. And again, sorry to derail us from the interview, but I thought it was important to just share. And if you want to participate, we'd love to have you. Any topics that you're like, I'm really passionate to talk about this, or I'll do it, but I don't want to talk about this. Obviously, we'll totally respect whatever
There's
you'd
nothing
like to speak about.
about. Yeah, I am an open book. We can go anywhere.
Sorry to derail. I feel that one very true. It's just, the way you look is definitely just the way kind of things go.
Dating is one of those things. I mean, there's some of my friends who are on the bigger side, especially where I live, because I mean, you live in LA, right? And
Orange County, actually.
Orange County. People walking around who are like trying to be the next trophy wife and like actress. So you have a lot of in shape people. And here in the Midwest, it's a lot of cornbread eating, chicken eating, a lot of big girls.
Yeah.
And I will say, I would tell my friends, you attract a better quality man when you are in better shape.
Yeah.
And a man that's more money too.
And I also think because you're caring for yourself, you have that deeper, not that they don't respect themselves, but you respect your body, yourself, your mind a little bit more, and you attract that similar thing in a partner, right? Somebody who's going to respect themselves and you and habits and health and all that too. So, yeah, it's a tough world.
Still, they ain't ish. So
they're not. When you were doing all your research, what stood out the most to you about the lap band?
Well, because I wasn't someone who was morbidly obese, I knew the lap band was good for someone who didn't have a lot of weight to lose, not 100 pounds to lose. It is completely reversible. It's adjustable. And, I just had a fill about 2 months ago. So, whenever I'm feeling like I'm able to take in too much, I can schedule a fill. Or if I feel like, I'm starving, I need to get some let out. So I like that it's completely adjustable.
Awesome. Can you please describe your experience, maybe how you felt the day of your surgery, how your recovery was, how long the recovery was, and a little bit into how fills are, how your fill experience is.
So the date of my surgery was very smooth sailing. I went in and I felt good as soon as I woke up from anesthesia. And I think my doctor, David Schumacher in Dayton, Ohio, is amazing. And, I, went home that day and, it was it's minimally invasive and it's just, you're done and you're you're on soft foods or liquids for a while, and then you're, just kind of slowly getting into solid foods. And it's like the recovery time is nothing. Um, and yeah, so it was just very easy for me.
Very cool. Um, with the lap band, we know it's not any rerouting or removing of the anatomy. Therefore, the weight loss tends to be a little bit slower than some of the other bariatric procedures. Um, during like your time now, you're a veteran of the lap band, you know how it works. But when you first had the lap band, did you ever feel a little bit frustrated that the weight wasn't coming off as quickly? Because I think sometimes people like want the weight off and they want it off like this without considering things such as loose skin and or body not absorbing as much nutrients as it should. But did you run into any frustrations with maybe the weight loss being still there, but just a little bit more gradual, taking a little bit more time?
No, never, because I would want it to be slow so I didn't have loose skin. And luckily, I have very little loose skin. Like, I'm very open about like
Yeah, yeah,
this, whatever.
yeah.
But I mean, that comes with age for many of us. But yeah, I didn't want the loose skin, and I wanted to, do weight training and cardio alongside it. And, you don't put on weight immediately. So getting it off should be a slow process too. And I can understand people who have other bariatric surgeries who have more to lose, probably does go quicker because, it's just a bigger.
There's more too. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but for those of us who use the lap band, yeah, it should be slow, and we should, go to the gym and just try to, be patient. I mean, it worked so well. So if you can give yourself the patience and know, like, this time next year, I'm going to look amazing, then just, keep that goal in mind.
Keep on keeping. Perfect. Is there anything that surprised you about the lap band or about like your experience with the lap band? Good, bad, or hopefully good, but any like surprises where you're just like, oh, I didn't expect to.
I will say the only thing that surprised me was when I had the complication with, I think somebody that did a fill put the needle in the wrong place and sprung the leak in the port or whatever. I don't know. But, I know that some people have had some complications, but, for the most part, they can be easily remedied. So that was the only surprise. Like, I remember when I first was like able to eat like I used to eat, and I'm like, there's no way. And then I went to, I don't want to say who I went to, and, they're like, okay, we'll try to fill it. And then it did turn out that it was not filling. And then luckily, your people turned me on to a doctor who he put me under an x-ray and put like, colored dye in it, and it went everywhere. And he's like, yeah, you sprung a leak. And so then he replaced it. And I'm just like, so glad. So that's the only thing. But other than that, I'm like 1,000%, satisfied. It's the best thing that's ever happened because, I have some control now. Before, when I was overeating, I tried everything to do it on my own. I mean, I even went to like Overeaters Anonymous meetings and like, things like that. And it's just nothing sometimes works until you have something that's like a real blockade from doing what, your mind wants you to do, So,
Because it's
yeah, people are addicted to food. Like, people get addicted to many things. And luckily, we have some solutions for those of us who are addicted to food. And I just wish there was like a product like the lap band to help people addicted to alcohol, drugs, and things like that. But, their addiction may not be as easy to remedy. But for me, it's like, okay, this is it. I'm done eating. Like I can tell if like I burp twice, that's it. Cut it off. You're done for the time being. Let it settle. And then, after it kind of digests, I can eat again.
So we've touched on a little bit that, you love to cook and you love trying new foods. And, I think that's the cool thing about the band is like you don't have to eliminate food groups or, different kinds of foods. But has your diet changed at all? Are you still finding that you still enjoy all the foods and even new ones?
I will say that having the band makes like bread and rice and pasta tougher to digest because it fills you up so quick. So if I do eat any of that, it's like a thimbleful. Like I can't really do that. I mean, you can, but it's gonna be like a thimbleful for like a whole hour to like complete your meal. So yes, I do a lot more soups, a lot more, um, things that go down easier because, because my upper stomach is so small. I need something that's not going to, fill me up immediately. So if you're gonna eat a piece of bread, just, for me, I know that's it. I'm not gonna have anything else for a long time. So that's it. It changes. It doesn't change what I do eat. It changes the length of time that's going to take to eat something.
Yeah. But it also sounds like you can then prioritize what you want, right? Like, okay, I'm going to get full, so I better take my protein in, and then, we'll do it something else a little bit later.
Right.
That's cool. Has there been a profound compliment or comment anybody has said to you post lap band, whether it's about your physical being, your emotional state, that just kind of stuck with you that happened post lap band?
Oh, just recently I was coming from the gym and I was in this restaurant and this woman was like, "You're so tiny." And I really liked that compliment. I mean, I'm not trying to be like Skeletor, but it's like I loved hearing that. But I don't want to be tiny. I want to be toned. I want like a ballet dancer body, So I'm always trying to do a lot more weight training. Um, but yeah, I do get compliments and I love wearing sexier dresses and things with cutouts and things that are tight because why not,
And you've worked really hard to get to where you're at. Like yes, it's a lap band, but a lot of the work is not still, is all you, right? The
right.
working out, the consciousness of your nutrition, like you should feel proud and you should be wearing whatever the heck you want and whatever
Absolutely.
makes you feel sexy. And
I
I
keep a
understand.
Ferrari in the garage. Yeah.
Yeah. And I understand the compliment of, you're small because I've had, some struggle with weight. And it's not that, like, I agree with you. It's not that you want to be smaller, but I think it's more, oh, I am putting in the work. I am starting to drop weight and people can see it now. So I think, yeah, I I get it. I understand. um, can you please share any like reasons or, you know, facts or things that you would tell somebody who's considering the lap band? Not necessarily to sway them one way or another, but just things that, if they're considering the band, they're kind of on the fence of it. What's a couple of things that you would tell them, to consider about the lap band? Not, you don't have to sway them because everybody's going to make their own choices, but just things that they may not know.
Well, if there was someone on the fence, I would say, um, it has worked for me, but it's not just sit there with the band on and not eat as much. You also have to do exercise and watch what you eat. But it's certainly a help. It's like the scaffolding to build the building but you've got to do the masonry yourself too. So, I would just give them my before and after pictures and say, I mean, not everyone's results will be like me, but I've had a good experience. It's a very minimally invasive surgery. I will be fine showing them the scars I have and explain exactly how quick and painless it is. And even when I got out of surgery and they gave me like serious painkillers, I was like, I'm not going to take that. I'm just going to take Advil. I forget the like serious painkiller they gave me, but it sounds like something you would probably sell on the street too. I was like, I don't want to take that. That sounds scary. Yeah. So I just took Advil. So I'd be like, even if they give you the strong painkillers, it's not even that much of a pain.
I had a C-section.
I think it was Percocet. Yeah.
Percocet. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I had a C-section for when my daughter was born. She's 7 months. And they gave me like pain medication, like narcotics like that too. And I was like they know I'm a mom, right? Like on little sleep and they're giving these out. Like I was
Did you
I think I'll
take
just
it?
No, I just took I just took ibuprofen. I was like,
Yes.
ibuprofen.
See,
Like
I'm like, if this is like one of those street drugs that people get addicted to, I don't try it.
I don't think I even filled that prescription. Like the pharmacy kept calling me like, hey, like your doctor sent over, like, your OBGYN sent over this prescription. Like, do you want to come get it? I was like, no, I'm good. Thanks. Like,
yeah,
eat that mess in my house. No, thank you.
Yeah. There's enough news stories and rap songs that mention a particular narcotic. I'm good.
Yeah, good. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, I think period cramp probably cause more pain than a lab band surgery.
Some of those are pretty intense, so I believe that. Is there anything else you'd like to share or say, or just anything?
I'm just someone, I don't mind living my life on social media as an open book because I know there's so many people who would like to hear my story with weight loss surgery. And, I've gone up and down in my weight. And, sometimes the way I look is reflective of how well I'm taking care of myself. And when I put myself first and go to the gym regularly and, eat things like spinach soup and carrot soup, because I got to get my vegetables in, then, you can tell, like, it's all over my face that I am doing well and drinking water. And so sometimes some of us need a kickstart, which could be weight loss surgery. So if the lap band is what helped me get on the path and like go full steam ahead, for somebody else, it could be also that magnificent.